Hello, Maria. How are you today?
Hi, Tom. I'm doing well, thank you. Just a little tired. The bus was very crowded this morning.
Oh, I understand. Getting to work can be an adventure sometimes. It makes me think about how we travel to work every day. My journey is quite different from yours.
Really? I've never asked you about that. How do you get to the office?
I usually drive my car. It's a habit I've had for many years. I live a bit far from the city center, so a car feels more convenient for me.
I see. That's interesting. We both traveled to the same office, but our experiences are probably very different. My commute involves a bus and then a short walk.
Exactly. Maybe we can talk about it. It could be helpful for people who are thinking about their own travel options. We can discuss the good things and the bad things about our daily commutes.
That's a great idea. A conversation about our daily commute. Where should we start? Should you tell me more about your drive to work?
Yes, let's do that. I can start by describing my typical morning journey. It's a routine I know very well.
Perfect. I am curious to hear what it's like to drive to work every day. I imagine it must be nice to have your own space.
It is nice in some ways. I usually leave my house at around 7:30 in the morning. My car is in the garage, so I don't have to worry about cleaning snow off it in the winter. That is a big advantage.
That is definitely a good point. I have to wait at the bus stop, even when the weather is bad. So, what happens after you leave the house?
Well, I get into my car, and the first thing I do is turn on the radio. I like to listen to the morning news. It helps me wake up and know what is happening in the world. Then I start my drive.
Is the drive long? How many kilometers is it from your home to the office?
It's about 25 kilometers. Without traffic, it should only take about 30 minutes. The first part of the drive is through my neighborhood, which is very quiet and peaceful. The roads are small, and there are many trees.
That sounds lovely. A calm way to begin the day.
It is. I really enjoy that part. I drive past a small park and a few shops. After about 10 minutes, I have to get on the main highway. And that is where things change.
Ah, the highway. I can imagine it gets much busier there.
Yes, much busier. The highway has 3 lanes, and they are almost always full of cars, especially in the morning. Everyone is trying to get to work at the same time.
So you have your own private space, your car, but you have to share the road with many, many other people.
That's a very good way to describe it. It's a personal bubble in a very public, crowded space. The drive on the highway is the longest part of my commute, usually about 15 minutes or more.
You said it should take 30 minutes without traffic. How long does it usually take with the morning traffic?
That is the big question. On a good day, it might take me 40 minutes. But if there is an accident or bad weather, it can take an hour or even longer. The time is not very predictable.
An hour to travel 25 kilometers? That sounds very slow. You must spend a lot of time just sitting in your car, not moving.
Exactly. We call it a traffic jam. Sometimes all the cars stop completely. You can see hundreds of cars in front of you and hundreds of cars behind you, and nobody's moving. It can be very frustrating.
I don't think I would like that at all. At the bus stop, I have to wait. But when I am on the bus, it usually keeps moving. We have special lanes for buses on some roads. Do you have that for cars?
No, not really. Sometimes there are special lanes for cars with two or more people, called carpool lanes, but I travel alone, so I can't use them. I am part of the problem. Just one person in one car.
What else is difficult about driving in the city? Is it just the traffic?
Traffic is the biggest problem, but it's not the only one. Finding a parking space can also be a challenge. Our office has a parking lot, but you have to pay for it, and the price goes up every year. It's quite expensive.
So you have the cost of the car, the cost of gasoline, and the cost of parking. It adds up.
It certainly does. And there is also the stress. Driving in heavy traffic requires a lot of concentration. You have to watch the other cars all the time. People can get angry and drive aggressively. It's not always a relaxing experience.
It sounds quite stressful. So, how do you manage that frustration when you are stuck in a long traffic jam?
That's a great question. Over the years, I have learned a few ways to make the time better. As I said, I listen to the radio, but sometimes the news can be stressful too, so I often switch to music.
Music is a good idea. What kind of music do you listen to?
I have a playlist of calm, relaxing music. It helps me to not get angry about the traffic. I just accept that I cannot change the situation, so I try to enjoy the music. It makes a big difference to my mood.
That's very smart. So, you turn a negative situation into a more positive one.
I try to. Another thing I started doing recently is listening to podcasts and audiobooks. My commute is a perfect time to learn something new or listen to an interesting story.
Oh, I love podcasts. What topics are you interested in?
I listen to podcasts about history and science. It feels very productive. Instead of wasting my time in traffic, I am using that time to learn. I have learned so much about ancient Rome during my morning commute.
That is fantastic. You are using the time for self-improvement. It's like having your own little university in your car.
Exactly. It has really changed my attitude towards my commute. I still don't like the traffic, but I don't hate it as much as I used to. The car is a private space, so I can listen to whatever I want without disturbing anyone.
That is a big advantage. On the bus, I have to use headphones if I want to listen to something. So, your car is your personal learning bubble.
Yes, it helps me arrive at the office feeling calm and ready to work instead of stressed and angry. So, that's my story. Now I want to hear about your commute, Maria. You said you take the bus. Can you describe your journey for me?
Of course. My morning routine is a bit different. I leave my house at the same time as you, around 7:30. I don't have a car, so my first step is to walk to the bus stop.
How far is the walk?
It's very short, only about 5 minutes. I actually enjoy the walk. It's a nice way to get some fresh air in the morning. The bus stop is at the corner of my street.
Do you have to wait a long time for the bus?
It depends. The buses are supposed to come every 10 minutes during the morning rush hour. Most days, I only wait for 5 or 10 minutes, but sometimes the bus is late. If it's raining or snowing, waiting is not very pleasant.
I can imagine. So what happens when you get on the bus? Is it usually full?
Yes, almost always. I rarely get a seat in the morning. Most of the time, I have to stand. The bus can get very crowded with many people standing close together. You have to hold on tight when the bus starts or stops.
That doesn't sound very comfortable.
It's not, but I am used to it. The bus ride itself takes about 20 minutes. It goes through several neighborhoods before it reaches the main train station in the city center.
So you take a bus and a train? I did not know that.
Oh no, I don't take the train. I just get off the bus at the train station. The station is only a 10-minute walk from our office building. So my total journey is a 5-minute walk, a 20-minute bus ride, and then a 10-minute walk.
I see. So you get a little bit of exercise during your commute as well.
Yes, I do. The 2 short walks add up. It's about 15 minutes of walking each way. It's a good way to stay active.
It sounds like your commute has some challenges, like waiting for the bus and standing in a crowded space. What do you think are the biggest advantages of using public transport?
For me, one of the biggest advantages is the cost. A monthly bus pass is much cheaper than owning a car. I don't have to pay for gasoline, insurance, repairs, or parking. It saves me a lot of money every month.
That is a very strong point. The cost of driving is very high. I try not to think about it too much.
Another advantage is that I don't have to do the driving myself. I can relax. I don't need to concentrate on the road or worry about other drivers. The bus driver takes care of all that.
So it's less stressful for you.
Yes, much less stressful. I don't have to deal with traffic jams from behind the wheel. The bus might get stuck in the same traffic, but it's not my responsibility. I can just stand there and be patient.
That makes sense. The feeling of responsibility while driving does add to the stress. So, what do you do with your time on the bus? You can't listen to podcasts out loud.
That's true. As I mentioned, I use headphones. I often listen to music, just like you, or I listen to my own podcasts. But I can also do other things that you can't do while driving.
Like what?
I can read a book. I love reading, and my bus ride is the perfect time for it. I can read a chapter or two every morning. I also check my emails or read the news on my phone. My hands are free.
That's a great point. I can only listen. I cannot watch or read anything. You can use your time in many different ways.
Exactly. Sometimes I don't do anything at all. I just look out the window and watch the city wake up. It can be quite interesting to see all the different people and places.
You mentioned some great personal benefits, like saving money and being able to read. Are there any other benefits that you think are important?
Yes, there is another big one for me. It's about the environment. When I take the bus, I am sharing my ride with 40 or 50 other people. We are all using one vehicle instead of 50 separate cars.
So it's better for the planet, less pollution.
That's right. I feel good knowing that I am making a more environmentally friendly choice. Cars produce a lot of emissions that are bad for the air quality in the city. A full bus is much more efficient.
I have to admit, I do feel a little guilty about that sometimes. Driving alone in my car every day is not the best choice for the environment. I am aware of that.
It's not about making you feel guilty. It's just one of the factors that is important to me personally. It's a choice. And there's also a social aspect to it.
What do you mean by a social aspect?
Well, on the bus, you are surrounded by other people from your community. You see the same faces every day. Sometimes you smile at someone, or you help an elderly person with their bags. You feel more connected to the city.
I never thought about it that way. In my car, I am completely isolated.
It's just me and my vehicle. I don't interact with anyone.
It's a small thing, but it makes a difference. It reminds you that you are part of a larger community. You are all traveling together. It's a shared experience, even if it's crowded and uncomfortable sometimes.
That's a very positive way to look at it. You have given me a lot to think about. Your commute is not just a journey, it's a part of your life in the city.
We've talked about the good things, but what about the disadvantages? You mentioned that the bus can be late. How often does that happen?
It happens more often than I would like, especially in winter. A little bit of snow can cause big delays for the buses. If a bus is very late, then the next one is often extra crowded because it has to pick up passengers from two buses.
So you can be late for work because of the bus?
Yes, it's a possibility. I always try to take a slightly earlier bus to give myself some extra time, just in case, but sometimes even that is not enough. The lack of control is a big disadvantage. I am dependent on the bus schedule.
I understand that. In my car, I am in control. If I need to leave earlier, I can. You have to follow the timetable.
Exactly. And there is also the issue of comfort, which we talked about. Standing for 20 minutes in a moving bus, holding a bag, is not ideal. And in the summer, it can get very hot and stuffy inside.
And what about personal space? In my car, I have plenty of it.
On the bus, there is very little personal space. People are very close to you. Sometimes people talk loudly on their phones or listen to music without headphones. You have to be tolerant of others.
It sounds like it requires a lot of patience.
It does. And the journey is not direct. The bus makes many stops along the way to let people on and off. My 20-minute bus ride would probably be a 10-minute drive in a car without traffic. The bus route is not the most direct path.
So it's slower, less comfortable, and less predictable than a car, but it is cheaper and better for the environment. It's a trade-off.
That is the perfect word for it. A trade-off. Every method of commuting has its good and bad sides.
That's very true. Have you ever considered other ways to commute? For example, what about cycling? The city has been building a lot of new bike lanes recently.
I have thought about it. I actually own a bicycle. The journey would be very fast on a bike, maybe even faster than the bus, and it would be great exercise.
So why don't you do it?
The main reason is safety. Even with the new bike lanes, I still feel a bit nervous about cycling in heavy traffic. The cars move very fast. And also there is the weather. Cycling in the rain or snow is not very appealing.
I agree. Safety is a major concern. What about our office? Does it have facilities for cyclists?
That's another problem. We don't have a secure place to park bicycles, and we don't have showers. I would not want to arrive at work feeling sweaty after a long bike ride, especially if I have an important meeting.
Those are all very practical points. It's not just about the journey itself, but also about what happens when you arrive.
Exactly. A proper cycling commute needs infrastructure at both ends of the trip. Maybe in the future, if things improve, I will try it.
I feel the same way. I live too far away to cycle the whole way, but I have thought about driving part of the way and then cycling the rest. But it seems too complicated to organize every morning.
It does. What about walking? Some people in our office live close enough to walk to work.
I wish I did,
That would be the ideal commute for me. It's free, it's healthy, and it's completely predictable. A 30-minute walk is always a 30-minute walk.
I agree. No traffic jams, no late buses, just you and your feet. That would be the dream. But we both live too far for that to be a realistic daily option.
So, after our conversation, how do you feel about your commute? Are you happy with taking the bus?
I think so. It has its problems, but for me, the advantages are more important. I like saving money, and I like having the time to read. It works for my lifestyle right now. I have accepted the small discomforts.
And what about me? Do you think I should sell my car and start taking the bus with you?
Maybe not. Your commute also has its advantages. You have comfort, privacy, and flexibility. And you have turned your travel time into a learning opportunity with your podcasts. That is wonderful.
It's true. I don't think I am ready to give up my car yet. I value the convenience too much, especially since I live outside the city. But our conversation has made me think more about my choices.
In what way?
Well, maybe on days when I don't have to be at the office very early, I could try taking public transport. Or I could look into carpooling options to make my drive more efficient and environmentally friendly.
Those are great ideas. It shows that there isn't one perfect solution for everyone. The best way to commute depends on where you live, your budget, your personality, and your priorities.
You are absolutely right. It's about finding the right balance for your own situation. It's a personal decision.
Exactly. The important thing is to think about the options and make a conscious choice, instead of just doing the same thing every day without thinking.
This has been a very interesting conversation, Maria. I have learned a lot about your daily journey, and I have thought a lot about mine.
Me too, Tom. It's good to share our experiences. Now, shall we get a cup of coffee before we start our work?
That sounds like an excellent idea. Let's go.